Hello, Jon. Welcome to the 100X show.
Hey, glad to be here.
Uh, just to kick things off, Jon, I would first love to learn more about your background, your team, and the inspiration that led you to found STEPN.
Okay, so I come from more of a traditional business background. So I've been doing a bit of retailing and wholesaling business in Australia since 2010, and growing to the business roughly 350 employees here in South Australia. And we operate over 40 outlets and across wholesaling, retailing, food, building materials, things like that. And nothing exciting until 2017. I get into cryptos, and find this is blowing my mind because I'm making like what I used to earn a year in like a single day. So like great, this is the business I want to be in. So I sort of all into the crypto since 2017. Start my own crypto fund, doing a bit of Bitcoin mining, standard stuff, and up until late last year, which is around September last year, and I was having a drink with my neighbor Jerry, and he basically, said about a lot about Axie Infinity. So of course I know Axie, and then we realized that Jerry is a game producer. I'm doing the crypto investment. So we say, all right, let's just combine our business together and then do a game for ourselves. So then we got, the STEPN, sort of the prototype of STEPN. So that's roughly when we started. We started around 18 people. So we have some backend, blockchain expert. I got my like research team. I got my like OTC desk people. Designing tokenomics, and and we keep growing, and we have absorbed a few teams, machine learning. We have more experienced game producer also joining us. As we grow, we have more customer services, marketing. So we grow to roughly 59 people now, and come from around UK, Australia, Philippines, some in America, and some in China. So it become pretty diverse and decentralized team. So yeah, roughly that's where we are, and we're probably going to scale more in the future.
Jon, I would like to double click on the OTC part. So you had your own fund. Do you think that that helped you design the token utility and the whole tokenomics and the whole token structure of STEPN better? Do you think that gave you an edge with regards to how STEPN tokenomics is looking like now?
Okay. The design of the tokenomic, actually we have gone through several stages because we have to write like a research report for the project, and we actually naturally we looking at project tokenomic from 2017, right? We say, all right, we have the ICO stage, then the crypto winter stage, and then the NFT DeFi stage. So we see how project evolved, especially with Axie invented this dual token system, and so that's the first stage. We draw experience from what we see in the past, and we design sort of the edition one of the tokenomics. And then as we have more people joining us, many of them with like 20 years of game designing experience, and they come in more with more game design mindset. So they design the second stage of the tokenomics, adding more burning scenario and consumptions, and that's the second stage. And then on the third stage, that's when we see, as we grow the app and as we grow the project, we're starting to realize this is not, we don't treat this like a just another project. We wanted to treat this more like a country. So when we come with a country, you need a central bank, you need a fiscal policy, you need a monetary policy, you need all these policies in place. And also you need to look at the features as an infrastructure. So that's almost a stage three kick in. Say you want to run this almost like a country, and you need to have your own budgeting. You have to have like a spending balancing from different use cases. So that's almost kicking the third stage of the tokenomic design. Say, okay, now I have this token. How do we curb inflations? And when it comes to deflation, how do we curb deflations? Because we constantly are suffering from the deflation of the game token. So we do a lot of double earning. Now this month we're gonna do triple earnings and double minting. So when there's a deflationary supply, we're gonna add more liquidity, and when there's inflationary supply, we're gonna do a whole bunch of things in the future. so to bring balance around the economy. So that's almost the stage 3 of how we see the tokenomics, because you never set in one static position. You actually, the tokenomics is always dynamic, and you have to actually manage it and manage expectation and also the circulations.
Yeah, I like the perspective. Typically, when we think about nation economy, layer one comes to mind. Not a lot of dApps have that mindset that, okay, I have to operate as an economy, have my own culture, have my different demand saying, supply saying, and have a balance. So I think it's a good perspective, a good mental model to kind of think about game economies in general. So this brings me to this brings me to a further question. I think now it's a good time to kind of segue into like give me an overview of what STEPN does, and also let's talk about goal of each token, GST, GMT,
Mm-hmm.
and the NFT itself. And you also mentioned a third token, so maybe also mention how that also
Okay.
fits into the equation.
Sure, sure. So yeah, STEPN gone through several stages. We start off as a GameFi, then we evolve in a Web3 running app, but now we settle as a lifestyle app. So what we're trying to do is to encourage people to stay away from Web3 through Web3. So this is almost like a anti-social social club style, right? So we use Web3 to bring people away from Web3, and how we do it. So basically, we incentivize people to move outdoors by giving them tokens, and has to be outdoor, and so people can put their phones in their pocket and just get more exercise and get healthier. So people earn tokens through equipped NFT sneakers. So more sneaker, more energy, more time to earn. So we actually wanted to build this as a lifestyle app, meaning that we want to have this app around in people's life for many years. So meaning that the progress of the game actually is very slow. So we want to have people to start from the bottom, which is like a common sneaker, and then gradually work their way through to have more sneakers, more energy, and then upgrade to the uncommon one. So maybe one day they'll have the legendary sneaker, but maybe that's five years later, and they will have a much better body and better mind. So we're trying to use this to encourage people, one, get more exercise done, and two, use the proceeds to donate to the carbon offsetting, which basically to sort of restore the balance of the nature, so to curb the climate change. So the whole thing basically want to build a like triple win situation where it's benefit the people, it benefit the environment, and also with the benefit of the people, both benefit the physically and then the mentally as well.
So that's a very good flywheel. Uh, so you mentioned about the NFT itself. Maybe just mention a little bit about the token utility of GMT, GST, and maybe the third potential token that you have mentioned.
Okay. Okay. So the GST basically is a game sort of a currency, the utility token where people earn GST by just simply moving any level, and they use GST say to repair the sneakers, to mint new sneakers, to use the boost services, and yeah, roughly that's the three main use of the GST. And the GMT, we actually gonna gradually roll out some use cases starting from this month. So people will be in the lookout. So we're gonna do an incremental rollout so people can start use their GMT very soon. And GMT will be used more across different levels. There will be a low end use cases and there will be a high end use cases. Plus there will be other form of use cases which I'm bound by what I can say. So people gonna see. We're gonna review how people and when people can earn GMT by this Saturday. In our Discord AMA. Um, so it's still a bit of a mystery of how what GMT can do. We only disclose a fraction of what GMT can do in the white paper, and we're actually in this process of adding more use cases of GMT, so which have already been done. So we are now implementing them, and because we actually want to do both the game and socials eventually, to turn the app into a platform, and that also give us sort of the idea, say, okay, one day we probably also have a SocialFi token. So that's again something that we are exploring, and something that we can eventually say, because people always ask, okay, what happens if the GST get into the ultimate inflation and the prices will be the same as SLP, and so we have designed really carefully of how people earn GMT, that everybody can earn, and everybody can earn GMT at the level of 30, so that when you can earn a lot of GST, you can switch over to earn GMT. So it's always a balance between these two. Because GMT, we released the tokenomics, so we want to design this almost like a Bitcoin. You have the difficult bound. So the more people mining, meaning that the less you will get. So if so many people are mining the GMT, the return will be smaller versus to mine the GST. People will switch back to the mine the GST, which will have less people mining GMT. You earn more, and people starting to sort of swing between earn GST and earn GMT. So to sort of restore a balance. And so again, ultimately we're thinking about, okay, one day if GST ultimately get into the inflation, we can do the buyback and then close the GST earning, move on, get another token for the socials, but the GMT always going to be the governance token of the platform. So we will talk about the 3 stages. So 1, we're going to do the GameFi, and 2, we're going to do the NFT platforms. So which means that we will enable trading of other blue chips NFTs on our platform, and also we'll also talk
So
about
when
doing the
we
fair
when we
launch.
say trade of other blue chip NFTs, are you thinking about focusing on health and fitness and maybe ESG based theme, or it could be any blue chip theme, or is it more like that? Okay, first primitive was Move2Earn. Maybe we can go into bodybuilding to earn, CrossFit to earn, biking to earn, and other
Okay.
segments of health.
Yep. So due to the design of anti-cheating, it will be almost impossible to do cycling to earn, because you cannot tell the differences between a bicycle with a motor and bicycle without a motor. So we particularly pick walking because we can verify if the person is really walking or cheating not quite easily, but plausible to do it. But in any other form, it's a bit difficult. Uh, and sorry, what's the question again? The other one?
You also mentioned the platform. So
Yeah,
within
platform.
that
Yes.
platform, like, will it have health-based NFTs, ESG related theme NFTs, or just any blue chip, let's say Bored Ape Yacht Club, CryptoPunks,
Yeah,
Cyberpunk?
yeah, yeah. Any blue chip, meaning that we'll also adding the Ethereums to the platform. So we will eventually run, in the short term, we're going to run 3 blockchains. We're going to run the Ethereums. For the blue chip NFT, we'll run the BNB chain, just adding another parallel to the Solana, and then the Solana will be the main chain, sort of having the most user at the moment. So we'll enable, say, any form of like Bored Ape, like CryptoPunk or Azuki, for example, on our NFT marketplaces. That's one. And the 2 is because we can verify, if the user are genuine human user, meaning that when other project wanting to access to genuine users, they can use us as almost like a airdrop platforms. So meaning that the user will not only earn our GST or GMT, they're gonna earn on top of this earning with another project. So they can do, okay, let's do airdrop for 5 days or 10 days, and then we switch to another project, do the 5 to 10 days airdrop. So people from time to time will receive different airdrops as
And
a
who will
form of dual
benefit? The
mining.
one who hold the NFTs.
Yeah, the sneaker owner, the people doing the move there are gonna benefit, because they're gonna earn like 2 type of tokens. If one day this token become have some value, then of course they can use it or sell it. You know, so that's sort of the platform we sort of envision. Eventually, because around 30% of our user are from the Web 2. They never use any Web 3. They don't know much about cryptos. And the blue chip NFTs will be the first sort of window for them, or like a gateway for them to see what is available on Web3. So I think that's very important, that we're trying to expand the the industry's economy to include more non-crypto users.
So one of the things that I found very, very interesting about STEPN was how well the economy was designed. So I just want to pick your brain more about that. So you did mention XC, and we know with XC, SLP token lost 90% of its value. AXS, the XC main token, also lost value because the revenue from breeding was going down, so the value accrual reduced. So apart from this, what are some of the other lessons you have learned from Axie Infinity and other play to earn games, and how have you made sure some of these things are would not happen at STEPN, and the value accrual is very straightforward and more so than other P2E games?
Okay, so I think we were lucky in several degrees. One is that we didn't sell any NFTs, meaning that we only give them away in the early stage, which the user expectation was extremely low. So, and users' tolerance to the bugs in the app is also extremely low because they're getting that for free, and they can earn a couple bucks a day, so they're happy. And that's really crucial in the first month, which we actually have fixed around 360 something bucks. And so, but we only have a handful of users because we give away around 20 sneakers every day. So even we give 20 sneakers, that's about 600 players. And there's only roughly 30% to 50% people are playing with it. So you're looking at around 300 people, manageable size and manageable earnings as well. So that gives us the time window to fix a lot of bugs in early stages. Imagine that if you sell your NFT, say 10,000 of them, and everybody will be waiting at the doorstep once your game are open to play, and they will say, "All right, let's just get our money back." And if you have game crashing bugs and all these issues, then people are gonna complain, and especially also we have changed a lot on the earning mechanics and in the early stages because with all the games, that's how the game design, right? You expect something from the user, and never going to be the case. You have to constantly change the data, the modeling, to reflect the real world situation. So we did a lot of changes in the beginning, and the people luckily that is not a lot of people are playing, and when people are playing, they are more tolerant to our changes, so that we were able to get the game to a good shape where we have the paying customers that they actually buy the NFT market, buying the sneaker from NFT marketplaces, and paid a certain price, although it's very low in the beginning, but they are paying the price. They are basically actively been using it, and when these people are in, the game are still very much playable. So I think that's one thing that we got quite lucky to now sell the NFTs. And the second thing is that once we are proving that this is a working product, the prices are going off the roof. Mainly because that there wasn't enough people minting the sneakers, which actually caused a pretty high spike of the prices. Because let's say around December last year, the price was about 0.9 Solana. And 3 months later, you're looking at around 9 Solana, so about 10x. And also Solana prices goes up a bit. So then that actually stopped a lot of users from participating because we have constantly people complaining that $900 or $1,000 sneaker, that's ridiculous for a price. But looking at that, it actually stopped a lot of people like rent seekers because people doing move to earn, play to earn purely for the financial incentives. People that can afford spending thousands or tens of thousands of dollars to play the app can also afford of make some spending in the app. So this is very realistic issues because if you are targeting to everyone, you're definitely gonna attract a lot of rent seekers. You could definitely gonna have a lot of sale pressures on your token. But people, the token prices went after the roof before everybody realizing that actually preserved a lot of users that never cash out. They just keep enjoying the app. They spend how much they earn every day. So that make the whole economy really healthy. And almost we are constantly in this deflationary token supply. So people just keep spending, and when they don't have enough token, they buy off the market. So I think that's another quite of a coincidence we had almost, to stop the rent seeker off the door. And once we are ready to get them in through the rental system, we'll be ready. The whole economy is going to be ready. Yeah, so I think that's the two things that we learn as we go from the X Infinity.
Yeah, do you want to elaborate on the rental part, because that's one of the features I'm very excited about. Kind of also makes your gaming, like, kind of makes your guild as well, that people who cannot afford the NFTs, they can just rent it out. You also have an on-chain credit system, which is very interesting. Perhaps elaborate on that, and perhaps also give us a timeline when we're looking at.
We Yes, we actually have designed the whole rental system before we went IE on Binance, and then we realized that once we open the rental program, we probably gonna have a people flood in basically just to rent and sell the token, which we think at the time we believe that we're gonna have these people to provide some value to the whole ecosystem. So if we cannot get them to provide value, they are actually extracting values of the ecosystem. And eventually, when there are more sneakers, when most people basically say, all right, let's just lease it out and collect some rent, then we are getting to that, guild sort of a dominating stage where the sell pressure will be more than the buy pressure. So we decided to redesign the whole rental system, and now we are exploring different ways of doing the rentals. And we haven't decided of which way, because we need to be really sure that the renter will also provide value to the ecosystem. If we cannot have that, that design, we will postpone the rental system. So looking at now, we are exploring two ways. This is just like ideas, right? One is that we adopt, what happened in Ethereum, what happened in Bitcoin. There's a fork system, right? So you fork you fork a sneaker, let's say of your friend, and then your friend earning capacity will reduce by 50%. This is almost like a trial sneaker you give to your friend and family, because you will not sacrifice your own earning for somebody that you've never met. You only sacrifice that for your friend and families, which you actually fork your sneaker to them, and they can make earning, but combined, you are still making 100%. So it's more like a trial. You use the rental system as a way to expand to the non-crypto crowd, which they will not be able to buy NFTs through cryptocurrencies, right? So that's one way to fork a sneaker. And the other way we're thinking is to have mechanics installed to prevent sort of the people that always selling your tokens. And again, the detailed mechanic cannot say as it's still under design, but is different ways we're exploring to resolve this through mechanic designs and through offering a different sort of user experience. So the end goal for the rental, I believe, is to break through the barrier of crypto, not to enable user to extract value of the ecosystem. So it's actually still it's sort of a challenging design. So we have some ideas, and we are still exploring that, as you can see. But the design hasn't been finalized. So we are pretty much focusing on the a few other things at the moment until we got the time to look at the rentals.
John, that makes sense. So let's say hypothetically we're in 2025. How do you expect this game to look like? And what will and what are some of your internally projected revenue and users number that you're projecting till, let's say, next 3-4 years?
Yeah. So we give very realistic predictions and projections, and we look at what the running app is capable to achieve, and also what is the free earning app, in the Web2 term, is capable of achieving. For example, Strava have about 80 million users, and Sweatcoin have about 50 million users. So you can see that once you are telling the world that you actually can earn by walking, people are going to go crazy and trying to use your app. And so we have no trouble to get there, we believe. It's just that we need to pace out the speed so that we don't grow too quickly, and so that we can have people minting enough sneakers to avoid the price going, NFT prices go up and down. And I hate to give like predictions, especially is 3 years time. Every prediction that give more than 6 months is unrealistic in the crypto world, right? So we just hope that we can be what we hope to be. Become a social platform, become an NFT platform, and also that people will enjoy movings, not so much on the financial incentives, but they have the habit of running and walking outdoors through the years of training to get incentivized through STEPN, and also that one day that we probably gonna if the token get inflated, we'll say, all right, we can do a buyback and then shut down the GST earning. It will be exclusively for the GMT earning, and the GMT will be used in various of ways on the platform. NFT marketplaces, you have the fees, and then socials, we are exploring on the music, we are exploring on social sharings. So there's we're gonna run different tests in the app, just to see what is available, because I don't think there's a model yet to have the social working on the Web3. But looking at what DeFi have done in this space, I'm pretty confident that one day, right, the killer app or the idea are going to emerge, and we'll be able to capture that opportunity on the social side.
Jon, I did like the very balanced answer. Yeah, so I was scrolling through the website. I saw one of the advisors is a VP at ADIDAS. So that got me thinking. Do you have plans to partner up with blue collar um, fashion labels, blue collar companies like Adidas? Do you have anything in plan with regards to this?
We actually are talking to a range of sneaker brand at the moment. So we're gonna do this. So this is a marathon, not a sprint. So we will have a series of co-branded sneaker. So not Adidas not gonna be the first, but Adidas not gonna be the last. So we will roll out as we planned. And we can't say much on these partnerships or any collaborations, as we're bound by certain things, and we certainly are exploring this space for the co-branded sneakers.
Yeah, just on the theme of exploration, are you also exploring in terms of sponsoring athletes, or also kind of linking up step in with apps like Fitbit, applications like Fitbit, Samsung Health, or a Ring? Like, do you have plans or exploration to kind of do all of this above?
I think eventually we're gonna do it, but currently people were complaining that they has to carry a mobile as they run, which is not a runner's habit. You normally wear the garment or the wearables. But once they discover they can earn pretty good income, they stop complaining. They just carry their phone on their hand. But the only concern that is we cannot allow the data being tampered um, while they are exporting the data file to their mobiles, right? So that's the area we have to do a lot of studies. We shouldn't have time now at the moment. So eventually, I think we're gonna enable the wearables, but we have to do a lot of study first of while that sustain the anti-cheating mechanics. Because if people can intercept, say, the Bluetooth data or any data and then change it, well, the machine learning be able to pick it up. So that's another thing, right? So we are testing that at the moment.
For the concluding segment of the podcast, Jon, what do you what do you see some of the most significant risk for STEPN? Some of the things you're concerned about and that you're working towards.
Significant risk. I think the sport injury is one of them at the moment. So we constantly are warning people of not going over exercise, and don't go out especially when it's raining. The road get very slippery, and especially if you are wearing a runner, you could trip and having some tripping hazard. So over exercising is always sort of an issue for us, and we constantly have to remind people of not doing that. And especially for the beginners, right? We always encourage them to wear a walker or trainer rather than things that have to run or at high speed. So and other things I can't think of much. There's many things in this industry. Probably you are more afraid of in the short term versus long term, right? So the long term risk is almost meaningless in this industry, right? You basically have to survive constant, the market cycles. Especially that now we have the user, and we have to be taking care of the users as well, with their asset, with their informations as well. So so there will be a long-term, I think, risk in this industry. Eventually, you're gonna get regulated, for sure. But I think it's a risk of time that once you become big enough that you can have like an army of lawyers, and you're certainly gonna curb off some of that risk.
So, Jan, before we conclude, is there anything you would like to add that we might have missed out?
I think it's pretty balanced interview, and if there's anything I want to add, is basically that we will start to run regular in-app campaigns every month. So every month will be some featured campaign. So basically, it's adding more sort of user involvement. For example, this month we're going to run a whole new campaign for Easter. And if people have sneakers, be on the lookout in the next 2 weeks, and we're gonna have a very fun, that's the first things we're gonna explore, right? So we're gonna do this type of things in the future almost every week if you're not busy. So more activities and more features. We're gonna roll out the BNB integration this month, so also be on the lookout if you're on the BNB chain. There will be exclusive sneakers and giveaways as well. So yeah.
All right, Jan.
It's gonna be a exciting week for us.
Yes. Looking forward to all the goodie bags you have for us. Thank you, Jan, for coming to 100x. It was pleasure. And after speaking to you, I was bullish on the STEPN NFT since January, and it feels like the trajectory is set for STEPN to do well for the future. So, Jan, thank you again for coming to the 100x.
Thank you.